Right now, I'm in the unfolding in this question about radical relating. What is radical relating? How do I get more access to radical relating with you, with all my relations in my life? And if there's radical relating, also called conscious relating, what is not radical relating? And it's coming up that that's kind of like a starting point is normal relating as when I walk in the world, the thing that I see most, experience most, that most invitations that are made to me is for normal relating. What is normal relating? I'm in this question, and yeah, it's like some things I know, some things I don't know. And what I know about it is, like I said, it's the most prevalent way of relating in modern society, in my blood family, at the grocery store, at the playgroups, at school. Even if I am working with a group of people that are a bit edgy, like we're a homeschooling group or we're an organic farming group, it's still contexted in normal relating. It's just a little bit out of the kind of comfort zone of the middle. And in normal relating, it happens that the kind of speaking and listening is not identified. So in normal relating, it's the what's the word? It's the default. It's the default speaking and listening, which is a kind of neurotic speaking and listening. For example, I'll say something and you're listening to me, and kind of the normal thing is that you're listening for a place where you can say how it is for you or what it is for you. And this is just really normal, and it's not good or bad, it's just normal. It's the prevalent thing, it's the thing that I am most invited to as I go through my day-to-day life living here in a modern society. Yeah, and what are some other aspects of normal relating?
When you bring up that question, it comes up for me that there is a lot of, like, there is a whole context that is around us that has been predefined and has been cultivated throughout a whole lifetime, and there is very few spaces out there where there's actually something else is being offered. And one of the things that came up is like the level of responsibility that is being taken in the space.
Mm.
And yeah, this relating orientation point to being with each other, that is, it has this connotation of we are here because we need to help each other, because we are um, because we are victims of something. And it's so prevalent, like the even like in these edgy groups where we are, it's like the system is the like an oppressor. We are victims of the system, like we are victims of war.
Or
Or
even you could be a victim of your partner making dinner and not cleaning up her mess.
yeah,
So it can be these big levels, like I'm a victim of the government and politics and systems around me that I have no control over, or I'm a victim to being a man who's married and I have to deal with a woman who always cooks but never cleans up her mess and uses all the dishes in the kitchen, and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, so it's like what I'm hearing is the normal relating happens in the have tos.
that's
I
one of
have
them. Yeah,
to abide by the laws of society. I have to celebrate our anniversary. I have to pick up the kids from school because that's what I arranged with my wife. Really, whatever it is, it's have to orientation.
like I have to agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this agreement, this is coming up in a few circles lately, that is like I have to agree with you, and if we don't agree, we cannot be together. And is this an agreement or disagreement? And it's very prevalent. It's like an unconscious, like unspoken rule that we have to agree. And like the thing about this context is that that's the only two. And when I say this context, is the context where that we're involved in the mainstream culture
Normal
context.
relating.
The normal relating context is that we have to agree to be able to work together. And there is nothing else other than agreeing or disagreeing. Like you're either one or the other. And it's so very scary to be on the other and with disagreeing with someone, because then there is nothing, then you're not in agreement, then there is no possibility of collaboration. And there is nothing else beyond that. And in radical relating, what I discovered is that that those are actually two very limiting beliefs or orientation points or points of origins, and that there is more than just agreeing or disagreeing.
Yeah, I hear that. And it makes me also think that normal relating is compromising. So if we're not in full agreement, then we compromise. And although compromise has this sort of tinge of being a responsible adult and being in a relationship and compromising so everybody gets what they want, what's under it is I want something. And because I have to compromise with you, I'm not getting fully what I want. So there's this very subtle level that below that, okay, I'll compromise with you. And I will hate you for it. It's so subtle. I will resent you. I will go against you somehow because
You owe me
you
one.
are the thing. Yeah, it could come out as you owe me
You
one.
owe me one.
Yeah. So it's normal relating. It's even in the world of normal relating, compromising is a responsible thing. But it's an illusion that it's not actually taking responsibility because it's still in that world of have to. I'm not taking a stand for what I really, really want. I have to compromise because I'm in an adult relationship.
Came the question for me about this when this agreeing or disagreeing part, that it's from my opinion, that it's all coming from someone's opinion, or someone's what is called the ego, or in our culture we call it the box. And it's this thing that has opinions, that has preferences. And when the only relating that is happening is coming from that, there is like I've experienced that there is a limitation of what is possible and what can happen in the space. Like I'm relating with you with my mask. Like this will be my mask, and then there is no really touching of the being.
Mm.
There is no like being with each other. It's just being with each other's masks.
Being with each other's egos, being with each
Mm.
other in that
Yeah,
layer
so it's like
of what is okay to express, which is a part of me that I have control over, like an image, what I want you to experience of me, for example.
yes, yeah. And when there is only that connection of just with our masks, it's impossible to have a real authentic connection.
So what's unfolding is that normal relating is basically what I've been doing for most of my life. It's what I saw with my parents, with my family, all around me, and it's still the bigger thing. And even someone can say, I am consciously relating because I have awareness of it, but the action is not different. It's like this compromising. Someone could easily think, oh, this is radical relating. This is responsible relating. This is conscious relating, that I'm aware of what I want. I'm aware of what he wants, and we're compromising. And really, I say bullshit to that. I'm not willing to live a life with you made of compromises. I don't want that. My heart's desire, my being, this part of me that is alive and wants more space to be in my aliveness, says, fuck no to that. No, I don't want that. I want something where you get what you want and I get what I want. And how is that even possible? And so this opens kind of this door to radical relating. For me, this is one of the access points. So what is radical relating? Also conscious relating. Two words that are really talking about a similar thing that's based in the present, the ongoing present moment, an ongoing space of I'm relating to you and I don't know how it's going to go. I'm not using the structures of my normalcy to relate with you. So,
Well,
what is conscious relating? What is radical relating?
what happens when you come into the present moment? Yeah, exactly
I
that.
get more
Yeah.
access to my feelings.
Yes.
So, like the
Feelings
normal,
automatically feelings come up.
yeah, the normal relating is to not feel. Like some
And
feeling
what
is okay.
feeling?
Some
Yeah.
feeling is okay. But yeah, what I just felt was fear.
Yes. And will you say more about like what was the fear about?
Yeah, I feel scared to just be with you right now in a place of I don't know what I'll say or you'll say or where we'll go or what will happen. Just being here, just holding my energy here close to me and being with you. Yeah, I feel scared
Mm.
because I don't know. I'm in a space of unknown with you, almost even a space of nothing. I don't have stories about you or stories about myself, like how it should go or how much time we have or what we're going to do. And from that space of nothing, yeah, it's like the floor is not holding my feet. Like there's nothing solid to stand on.
Mm. So, yeah, when you ask this question of what is radical relating made out of, and it's about relating in the present moment with no stories, with and with your being there, open to that, entering the unknown together, and and when I ask that question to myself, it's like, okay, so it's like I'm able to be here with you because of the work that I've done with learning how to feel more. To me, it's like radical relating comes together with feeling, and with feeling that you're being able to feel your fear without in a way that is not reactive, in a way that you can feel it, let it like give you the shakes or shivers. That holy shit, I'm standing in front of somebody else right now. I'm being in front of this person, and I don't know where this is going. I don't have the answers. I have uh, I have my compasses, my sensations, my mind, and I'm able to be in that sensations without running away, without this thing that I want to project my fear on my partner or project my fear outside of me, but I that you can own the emotions, own the feelings that are happening, and use that as a way to create an authentic space that is not neurotic, or it's not creating this neurotic form of speaking or neurotic form of like, for man is like wanting to fix you, wanting to fix others, or neurotic way to like protect myself because I'm not capable, or that I have beliefs that I'm not worthy, and then I have to protect myself. and and yeah, for me, that the foundation of that is feelings, learning how to feel in a different way than what I was programmed to, which was unconscious feelings or not feeling.
One part of what I'm hearing you say is that radical relating is scary.
Radical relating is scary.
Yeah. And you said more that radical relating is a space of feeling and being okay with feeling. And there's this part about the fear that when I become present, I feel scared. And it in this last year relating with you, I had this sort of mechanism or this thing in me where I didn't feel safe with you. So I didn't want to relate with you. And as I was doing my own personal work of opening that up and seeing what it was, at the bottom of it was I unconsciously expected you to create an environment where I didn't feel fear.
Mm.
And in normal relating, like if I go talk to someone at the coffee shop, I could imagine they'd say, "Oh yeah, that's great. Your partner makes you feel safe." But in being radically alive, I want my fear. for me personally, my fear source is so much adventure. And when I was in this story that I feel unsafe with you, which was for me at a foundational level, not feeling my fear, I had a deadness in me. There was a deadness in my day to day life, like a depression, like a not able to get up, create, move in the world in the ways that I wanted to. So I'm really with this part that radical relating is present, and to be in the present moment is scary. And what does it take to be okay with my fear? And if I'm operating at a level of I need to feel safe, that kind of translates to I need to be a certain level of not alive, because being alive is dangerous. Being in life is inherently dangerous. Every move I make. And as I'm hearing myself say this, like it's wild, it's radical,
Yeah.
and it's the source of something else. It's fun. It's fiery, it's alive, it's scary, and it's adventurous. You and I sitting here in a room on an afternoon in a normal house in a normal neighborhood, I'm having an adventure with you right now. I want that. I'm like, yeah, I like that. I want that in my life.
Mm. When I hear you saying this, is seeing this thing that you were bringing it up first of have to, that you have to do these things, or you have to compromise to your partner, and I'm seeing like there is a shift in what you're bringing right now, that is no longer I have to fix myself because otherwise I'm gonna have a shitty normal relating with my partner, or I have to heal my emotions because otherwise I'm gonna keep repeating my patterns. And it's not coming from this have to thing, but let's have an adventure, or I want an adventure. I want more aliveness in my life. I want to stand in the unknown. I want to be with somebody in that place where we don't have it all figured out, or we're not relating with each other in our patterns or in our masks.
How do you get there? How is that even possible? Because radical relating happens in the present, it's too small for bringing all the stuff of the past. Radical relating is present. So any part where you or anyone is bringing stuff from the past, even something that happened this morning or 10 minutes ago, this is not radical relating. If I'm using all the experiences that I've had with you over the last year to relate with you in this moment, this is normal relating. And it comes at a pretty high cost for me. It comes at the cost of confusion, spinning, low creation energy, not being fully alive in my life. And when I do enough of my own personal work to take care of my stuff from the past, even if it was just last week, then I get to be with you and stand here and say, I don't know what your potential is. I don't know who you are in this moment. I want to know, who are you, Jorge? How is it going inside of you right now?
Yeah, and even like it's like shorter moments. Like I notice myself, I'm catching myself even thinking, like as I'm listening to you, I'm like thinking also these things that come up for me, and noticing that there is these links or hooks that I have for things to bring up to the conversation. And it's like at that moment, like I'm seeing how I'm not being present anymore. So it's not even like last year, something that happened last year, or something that happened 10 years ago, or something that happened this morning. It's like something that happened 2 minutes ago. And already in that there been some loss of presence. And like right now I'm in the question of how often do I do that? Like how often does that happen to me, where I say like, oh, this is really cool thing that I want to say, and then kind of like clinging onto that or hanging onto that, and by doing that I'm not being present with you anymore. and that it's so much the way that I've been used to relating. So when I hear you asking like how do we get there, how do we come to radical relating, is like it's like learning how to fall together, learning how to
Yeah.
like drop everything, learning how to be be alive with each other, but beyond what we're thinking of, beyond verbal reality, or beyond
Reason. I'm hearing that
beyond reason.
radical relating is beyond reason. It's unreasonable. It's a place of nothing. It's a space of nothing. And that is illogical.
And then the question that comes up is like, okay, but why is that fun? Well, why what is the purpose of that? Why do you want to radical relate? What is in radical relating?
Yeah.
What is in there? If it's a space of nothing, why do you want to go to nothing?
Because from nothing, anything is possible. In normal relating, what's possible is more normal relating. In radical relating, it's from a place of unreasonable nothingness. And what's possible from there is actually anything, everything, one thing at a time, any sort of movement, like a different kind of intimacy, an intimacy where I am nourished in all my bodies, an intimacy where you are nourished in all your bodies, a creative collaboration that I or you could have never sourced from any other place but that radical relating. There's the possibility of something actually working, something flying where we both get what we want. And it's bigger than us, and other people can play in that space, be in that space. It's fun
Yeah,
and scary.
and fun can be scary too, or scary can be fun. And the thing that's coming, that this is the starting point. This is a sort of starting point where from where things can emerge, and this is what I hear you saying, that anything is possible from here. uh, this week, a few days ago, I was in this question of why am I not bringing my whole intensity of my being to reality, to the present moment? It's like I was super intense. I have this intensity or clarity inside of me about what I want to create, how I want to create it, and how things can go in the space. And I'm not meeting in reality. I'm kind of like more like a wave, like a dull wave. And I have this question like how do I meet that reality with my intensity of being? And it's like it starts there. I cannot figure and reason my way into that. It starts going to that space of nothing, where nothing is happening, in that space of radical relating, for that intensity to come into the space.
It's possible that women have more access to this than men. And we know the nothingness. We bleed every month. We know what it is to die and let go of the mask, the show, the personality, the looking good, because we do it once a month. So, yeah, perhaps women go first. Perhaps if someone wants to radically relate with their partner, I would say, what do you need for her to go first to source that space? And I want to end this space with all these pieces coming together. What is radical relating? And what I'm hearing is radical relating is not common. It is sourced from an unreasonable presence where a person can show up without any stories or information from past experiences and be. And it can be relating to themselves, relating to another, relating to a group, relating to nature. It's not limited to romantic partnerships. And that radical relating matters because it's the point where something else can be sourced, where the patterns I've been in my whole life will repeat and repeat until I can get to a radical place of relating where that is not there. The necessity to repeat the patterns of my survival fall, and instead is replaced with nothing and groundlessness and unreasonability. And from there, energetically, emotionally, physically, I can move in ways that I couldn't before. This is what radical relating is.
And one thing that to also close the space is that it doesn't always look good, or sometimes it doesn't look good.
It never looks good. It
never-
doesn't look good.
It doesn't
It is
look
not the game of looking good.
It
It's
is
a
not the
different
game of
game.
looking good.
It's the
Yeah.
game of radical relating.
Yes, and looking good for modern culture is this knowing the answer, having it all figured out,
And not feeling scared
and
too,
even
hey?
not feeling scared. If you feel scared, you don't look good. You're
Yeah.
like you're weak or something. Yeah, so it's like automatically in the context of modern culture, if you have this unconscious commitment of looking good, not feeling scared, having the answer, knowing what you're gonna say, having your life figured out, it automatically blocks. There's no access to radical relating. It might look like radical relating, but it's not radical relating.
Yeah. Thank you. I would say to you, someone that wants to get closer to radical relating, what steps do I take towards it? How do I get to this place, this kind of space or way of relating? And I would say, what does it take for you to loosen the chains and the grips of your past on you? Everything that's happened to you, everything you still are holding from what has happened to you. What would it take for you to start to loosen those chains and really that like straight jacket that a human can put themselves in from experiences and emotions of the past?
Yeah. Thank you.